We live. We all live. And we gone. So with that being said, it's your boy the Brando knows. We back with another one of those updates. Okay, so whoa, we got a lot going on right now. A lot. Seems like my joint doing double talk right now, right? All right, let's get into this, man. What we doing?
Hey guys, listen, a new update in the Nolan Wells case, okay? Forget everything you know. We are moving backwards so we can move forward. What are we focusing on? We are focusing on the pivotal 30 minutes when Nolan magically disappears. And we are exposing, I believe, the inconsistency and national using timeline that they gave us. I repeat, using the actual timeline that they gave us. I do want to point out also a lot of people, and another thing we're going to be discussing that's really important is why a lot of people are asking why Wyatt and why Bart did not appear, okay, on Robert Tatum's show. A lot of people think it has to do a lot with maritime law, the wrongful death lawsuit, and also what's going on. Again, I think it also might have to do with a grift that appears to be being perpetrated on to the American public as we speak. But we'll get into that. But first, let's get into the timeline. Okay? If you guys aren't following 400 frames on TikTok, you need to, all right? We're going to get into a timeline that he has assembled, and I am going to be stopping periodically and adding evidence in to make it all make sense. In the meantime, you guys turn your volume up, and if you can turn your attention to the screen, please do, because there is pivotal information. Let's get into this, all right? The first person that we're going to hear from is Nolan's actual best friend. This is a friend that was acknowledged by his parents. This is a friend that was acknowledged by his friend group, okay? Now, I know Warren says that he is Nolan's best friend, but there is no proof of that because Nolan is not around to dispute it, okay? Tristan said that he was Nolan's best friend. However, the parents said no because who are you? I don't even think we've ever met you. Again, I'm done calling them friends. I think we should because words have.
And you can't say you somebody's best friend if you never met their parents, man. Who would agree? You can't be my best friend if you never met my parents, man. Huh? Anybody that I consider my best friend has met my moms. Never met my pops because my pops been gone for a long time. But anybody I consider a friend has met my moms. I would have to say that. That's a true story right there. All right, let's get back into this. Teacher Tales, by the way, y'all. Give it up for her.
Power, we should call them the people that were around Nolan when he disappeared. Some of the last people to claim that they saw him. On top of that, maybe they were even ex-friends. I don't know. Nolan cannot speak from the grave, but I am tired of their attorney saying Nolan's friends. No.
Real.
But anyway, let's hear.
For real, I'm tired of that too, because they was not Nolan's friends. They was not Nolan's friends.
From what his actual best friend is saying, all right?
3:40, 4 o'clock, an altercation had happened between one of my other friends and checked on him for about 20 minutes, 20 to 15 minutes. I came back, Nolan's boat and the people that he was with were gone.
Last time I personally laid eyes on Nolan was at like 3 o'clock, and he was, front of the boat with the girl.
From the first.
Now pause, okay? From the first moment, we'll get into what he's saying, but keep in mind as we move through this, I think it's important you keep it in mind, that is an actual eyewitness that was on Horn Island that knew Nolan and saw Nolan. And he testifies that when that boat left and all the people that Nolan came to the island with left, he never saw Nolan again for the rest of the day. Keep it in mind as we move forward.
This entire investigation has been based upon the timeline that was given to us by Warren and his friends, and then was stamped and sealed by Judge Ashley Cole. But as we've all seen, those timelines have never worked. That's why they're so confusing, because those timelines were just trails to lead to their version of the truth.
And let's not forget, their version of the truth does not make sense. I have long criticized the media, and this is important to remember as you move forward. Anything they are saying is speculation. Some would say it's bordering on defamation. But anything they are saying is speculation. Nothing they have said has been proven true. Not the heavily intoxicated. That has been contradicted by Nolan's actual coach, who said he had a long conversations with him around 3:30 p.m., right? He told the police, he told Nolan's mom, and he said Nolan didn't seem a lick of drunk. Not only that, Nolan had a D1, he was a D1 athlete that had an important tryout not even 2 days later. All right? The fact that he drowned, whether it was accidental or not, no proof, not even an autopsy. The fact that there was nothing deleted from the phone, no proof. This is all speculation. That autopsy that Cuomo says he found, show us the receipts. Again, everything they are...
Because they all liars. They sending all the liars out. Cuomo, all the usual suspects, man. We don't believe none of them no more, globalists. Y'all don't know by now? Those dudes are the flunkies for you cats, and we already pinpointed that, man, from the COVID. You know what I'm saying? Remember Cuomo and his big brother? They sent all the people, all the COVID-infested people into the old folks' home and killed up all those people? You remember that? And how about when he was telling y'all to be inside, stay 6 feet apart, make sure you wear one of them fake-ass masks that didn't help stop a fart from getting to your nose, huh? While he was outside getting his workout on. Remember that? And now you're going to take his word for this? I wouldn't take these people's word for nothing. Their word is garbage. And they're a bunch of goofies for even trying to think they could pull the wool over our eyes. You got new inspectors out here now, baby. And we on the case. We done figured it out. I done showed you, if you go back to the last show I just showed you, you see how old boy broke it down? We there. We got all the information and all the facts. So every time they open their mouth and they say something, it just contradicts everything that the timeline says. First of all, Tristan, the boy on the screen right now, claims he's Nolan's best friend. He said the last time he saw Nolan, he was in passing. And he had to tell Nolan he loved him because he was so drunk. I was so drunk, man. I must have been drunk. I had to tell this nigga I loved him, man. I said, yeah, I love you, man. Yeah. But that bitch you with? Oh, no. You better get rid of her quick, son. Niggas is hot. Niggas is hot for you with that one, man. I'm telling you, man. Stop fronting with her. But anyway, he said 10 minutes after that conversation, his last conversation with Nolan, he got into a fight. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. Last time you saw Nolan, you got into a fight 10 minutes after that. The fight was so terrible that you had to get packed up and left. You had to get up out of there. So the dude you was fighting with, where he was at? Still left on the beach? Come on, let's make it make sense. You know what I mean? These people are lying to us, trying to pull the wool over our eyes, right before our eyes. And it's going to be hard to do with all these internet what you call those? Inspectors now. You know, we out here. We out here. We out here. All you gotta do is tell us the story and we're gonna break it down to its very last compound and tell you what really happened, right, y'all? Give it up for yourselves. You know what I mean? We did this. We figured this out. And we just waiting for the conclusion of what the state of Mississippi's gonna say. Huh? We just waiting to see what the state of Mississippi gonna say. We already see what happened here, man. They want to make you believe that the Cito tape was a figment of your imagination. Have you heard the Cito tape? Huh? If you haven't heard the Cito tape, go back a couple of episodes in the Brando Knows page and listen to the Cito tape, man, and see what it is that they trying to convince you that's not real. Because for them to try to sit here and say that that girl added anything to that tape, they liars. Because she sat there and let us watch what she was doing. She put it on the big screen, like right here. Let me show y'all something. Let me show you something. Hold on. See the big screen? See the big screen? Now, if I was working over here on this soundboard, where she said she had Logic Pro 10, same programming I got. I'm live feeding. I'm live feeding. Yeah. So, you know, like I was saying, yeah. They trying to pull a wall over our eyes, y'all, and I don't think they're going to get away with it, man. You know what I'm saying? They're going to take this down to the wire. But at the end of the day, it's just too much evidence against those boys, man. You know what I mean? Even with the bootlicker over there licking boots. And now they got this new Johnny Cox ass nigga wearing hats looking stupid. And now they got him. And he's the cleanup man. It's too far gone, Papa. He gonna tell us, yo, man, you can't tell whether these kids did it unless you've been to the island. You trying to tell us we had to, in order for us to know the truth now, we had to been to the island, y'all. In other words, if you don't go to the island, you'll never know the truth. That ain't lie, because they got Google, and we can see aerial views. We can see the whole island one time. We don't have to be on the ground. Huh? We can zoom in like we right there. Google Maps, baby.
They are saying it's speculation. Speculation so that they are not involved. But it's important to remember that moving forward.
After a month later and a lot of talking, there are more pieces to the puzzle, revealing a pivotal 30-minute window when Nolan disappears. This timeline is built upon reports given to us before Nolan was found, and also through all the interviews from Nolan's so-called friends. The major events are pre-fight, then the fight 1 and 2, leaving the island, and then when most of the young people have gone and left the island.
Pause right there. The fights are something very important. There are photos that the Cajun Navy even submitted of what looks like either the pre-fight or what actually happened in the fight. First they said there was no fight, then they said there was, The important thing that you need to keep in mind with the fight and the pre-fight is it happens in the exact time frame that was literally the exact time frame. Once the fight was over, they rushed from the island. There was sinking, there was emergency. Again, that fight timeline seems to be a nexus of truth and a grain of something that happened that connects everybody's story, no matter how much it falls apart after that.
This is key because multiple reports the day after Nolan went missing say that most of the young people left the island by 5:45. The two anchors for this report are Javon's report, which happened around the time when Nolan was missing. That's why I'm using it. And then the screenshot, that famous viral video that we heard of that time of 4:01 after the second fight.
I want to say around 3:40, 4 o'clock, an altercation had happened between one of my other friends. I went and checked on him for about 20 minutes.
He leaves Nolan to go see about the first fight. The first fight happens from your boy Tristan when a white person comes and tries to police him about how he's talking to his white girlfriend. Shortly.
Now, Tristan was sitting here.
So you mean to tell me? Hold on. See, that ain't making no sense to me, man. So so this friend right here ran to assist Tristan when he was fighting. My man, they both are right here, man. You making it seem like you had to go so far, bro. Like, This is what I'm trying to get at, man. Like, all right, he said he went to check on his other friend that was. Tristan just walked past Nolan, man. He said Nolan was going to get on his boat. His boat is right there, man. The boat it ain't like the boat is way down the beach, bro. Like, where you had to go? You had to go right there. You still could see the dude, man. All boats is right here. You see all the boats. You seen the picture they showed you with all the boats tied up earlier? So if Nolan boat is right there and Tristan boat is right there, the last time you saw Nolan, you was going to assist your other friend in a fight. Your friend was right there fighting. So you turn around 10 feet, Nolan right there. So what happened here, bro? Nah, that right there sounds a little fishy, Papa. I'm going to keep it 100 because Tristan just said he just walked past Nolan, man. Nah, something don't sound right about that. And then your boy came on there earlier and he said there's nothing to obstruct your view for the whole damn island. You can see from here all the way down there. No, it's nothing in your way, man. No mountains, no trees, no nothing. So why couldn't he see? If you went to check on your boy, you still should be able to see Nolan, man. Why these people acting dumb and blind right now, bruh? And I just peeped what this boy just said. He said he went to check on his other friend that was in the altercation. So Tristan is the other friend that was in the altercation? Oh, really?
Here saying Ocean Spring and they don't have a problem with race. So keep that in mind. It seems like in Ocean Springs, black people are regularly policed and they're fine with that. But let's keep going.
After Carter, who is Warren's little brother, continues the fight closer towards the beach. And in that viral video, if you see the height of the individuals, they look a little bit shorter. And then this screenshot says that video was taken after the second fight around 4:01. Tristan says that Nolan allegedly was not in the fight, but that he was out of frame in that video, which means he's still there. And from Warren, I think Nolan is still in the water by the boats. Warren puts the sequence of fight, second fight, and then him going to see the issues with the boat. There is no way that the last time that he saw Nolan was at 3 p.m. because this is now 4 o'clock.
So you get ready to go. There's an issue with the boat.
Okay, yeah.
And this is
well,
what
this led up to that. That's what I'm saying.
So the fight happened with your brother, the scuffle.
We're getting closer to that fourth.
Because listen, earlier at one point he said Warren said that a girl came up to me. I was on my boat. A girl came up to me. She said, "Your brother's in a fight." So I walked over there. I'm gonna be honest, man. I didn't walk over there, man. I put my bed down and I rushed over there, man. I took a beeline, man. I flew over there. And by the time I got there, they was breaking the fight up and somebody was getting dragged off. That's what he said. He said he saw somebody getting dragged off. Peep what he said. He saw somebody getting dragged off, but he ain't know who it was. I find that hard to believe, my man, that you ain't know who was getting dragged off.
30 p.m. departure time from the GPS, but that doesn't mean that that's when they tried to start leaving the island.
I came back, Nolan's boat and the people that he was with were gone.
To me, this is the infamous moment where Warren claims that they said for Nolan to get on the boat, but then Katie says that she thought he left with them.
Nolan was sitting by the boat with that Katie girl.
How you not gonna know whether or not he left with them? You understand what I'm saying? That's all the cockamamie bull right there. There's no way you're not gonna know whether somebody you just was chilling with left with somebody on a big ass boat, man. Bring Katie in for questioning, man.
And my buddy yelled for Nolan, get on the boat.
Now, one thing when we talk about the yelling that everybody seems to be overlooking, if you see the parting at Horn Island, if you see how close they were to the boats and how close they were to the store, even though their attorney is trying to say that they were parked 150.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying now, Tisha? They try to make it seem like these boats were so far away because his boy just now said he went to look in on his other boy that was in the fight. If you talking about Tristan, his boat is right there. Nolan, the boat Nolan was on was right there. Tristan came in earlier than them on his uncle's boat. Right? So that would be the fourth boat if you ask me, because Tristan was supposed to have been riding out with them, but he didn't ride out with them. He rode out with his uncle because his uncle claimed he needed him to help him take care of some things on that boat. You understand? Things that people don't see when you're out there boating. He had to do that on his uncle's boat. So his uncle and him left with 11 people, I believe he said, and they went out there and they found parking. Now when Bart and Warren, Wyatt, and Nolan and the 18-footer with 4 people on it pulled up, Tristan was already parked and told them, pull up. So they all tied off together. So when he's saying Nolan went to his boat and I went to my boat, they making it seem like they went on the other side of the island. My man, y'all were all tied up together, bruh. Y'all already said this. Y'all were all tied up together. So when he say, another friend of the last time I saw Nolan, another friend of mine's got into a fight, so I went over there to assist him. Huh? You went to assist him. He was right there. Because Nolan boat is right here. They all was tied up together. You understand what I'm saying? There's no way they all shouldn't have been able to see each other, man. That's all I'm trying to say, man. They got us twisted.
50 feet away, and they were anchored, even though pictures clearly show that's not the case.
Pictures show the boats were tied together, but yet they still coming up with this cockamamie story like they boats were, like you just said, 50 feet away or all the way on the other side of the beach. Like when he was so far away, you could. The man just came on earlier, his own lawyer, and said there's a clear plain. There's no brush, no rocks, no mountains, no nothing. Just a clear view of everything. You hear me? Facts.
I wonder whether Warren saw Nolan or not. He clearly said they were screaming at Nolan, get on the boat, get on the effing boat. Warren wants us to believe that they were screaming, that Nolan was so far away that he could not easily see him. But yet, so imagine how much somebody's voice would have to carry if you can't see him in your eyesight, but you hear somebody screaming at him to get on the boat. And there were all these people around. How come there's not one other witness at all that came forward? Forget about once it's turned into a media spectacle, according to them, right? I look at it as an inquiry. Once the media got a hold of this, once Nolan tragically was found. However, we look at the timeline in the days when Nolan was just missing and people were posting stuff and giving information, because after Nolan passed, they found out that Nolan wasn't there. Silence, a veil of silence went over. But let me get back to my point. If Nolan is so far away that you can't see him, according to Warren.
How you
However,
hear somebody saying
your friend was not only able to scream and get his attention, but also Nolan was able to audibly scream back, no, I'm going to stay here, blah, blah, blah. How come not one other person, not Trayvon, not anybody, heard this conversation? Not Katie, who,
Katie, as you say, he was hugged up with, the girl, Katie. You know what I mean? He was hugged up with Katie, but Katie ain't him say nothing like that. Katie said, he was giving, y'all getting ready to leave, I gotta go. Make it make sense, Papa. The truth will set you free.
Warren was saying, he was cradling her, that Katie girl. Katie didn't hear Warren scream back. I'm sorry, Katie didn't hear Nolan scream back. No, I'm staying here. Nobody heard this interaction except for Warren. Okay. You see what I'm saying?
And he claimed to be way down the bridge. Come on. Ain't making no sense, baby.
Let's keep going.
We're leaving. The boat's having issues, and no, he didn't say that, but he was panicking.
The thing about the two.
Don't worry, y'all. Y'all see Nancy Grace on the screen. Nancy Grace got they lawyer on there, man. Carl Cox with the funny hat on. He coming up next, man. We gonna run the mill right now. And while we at it, let me let you know that this segment of the show is going to be sponsored by stickermill.com. If you go to stickermill.com/Dabrand, I got you on your first 10 stickers, baby. Let's go.
Boats that I said, there were two boats tied up. So therefore, I didn't know which boat Nolan exactly was on because they're both tied up.
This is key. Javon says the boats, plural, are.
That's what I'm saying. Ain't all these people supposed to be in college or some shit? And how they all seem so acting so stupid? Man, I didn't know if the two boats was tied up because it was tied up. You ain't know if the two boats were tied up because they were tied up. My man, your tongue twisting your lies, man. Now I'm feeling like you ain't on it, buddy. Now I'm feeling like you in on it, man, because there's no way you couldn't have seen what happened, man. You right there. All the boats was tied together. You said two of them. No, all four of them was tied, man, because when they first pulled up, Tristan told them to pull up while he tied them off. We're going to get to that interview, too, man, if we need to. But Tristan said they got there first, bruh. And when they pulled in, he told them to tie in, man. So they was all in the same vicinity, bruh. It ain't like, they pulled here, they kept going because they couldn't fit. They had to go way down there. No, they was all together. All the boats that came out there together stayed together until the incident. You understand what I'm saying? We see it.
Are gone, and then Nolan was gone. This is so important. Tristan leaves the island in his boat. But then also all three boats that came to the island leave around the same time. Warren said that Palm Beach had left, the Triton that we know about, and then the tide line is Bart's boat.
Now, many people wonder who Wyatt had two boats. Many people wonder who drove Wyatt's second boat back. Warren drove it down, but Warren said he was on the boat with Wyatt. Now, interesting enough, I did show in the MDMR report, Jerry, Wyatt's grandfather, is listed as an involved party. So is Bart. It makes you wonder, was Jerry driving the third boat, or did he tell them that he was? Because why are you an involved party and none of the other?
Yeah. And check it out, Tisha, the boat. When the picture that TMZ dropped, when they flashed and Nolan was on the back of the boat, bent over like, the one thing I don't like about the pictures that they keep showing, right? If you pan in a picture like that, right? Obviously that came from some type of a video, man. So why wouldn't y'all catch the video? Why wouldn't y'all just play the video, right? Or catch him in a position where he's not with his back turned. He always doing so where you can't really get a good look at him. You understand what I'm saying? And this is the evidence they trying to give us. Like the other day when they said Nolan was spotted on the island by these people right here, and they showed the picture of him, supposedly Nolan walking down the beach with three women or something like that, right? Come turn out, that's not even Nolan, man. The people call and say, yo, that's not Nolan, that's me and my peoples, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even from Ocean Springs, so we gonna tell you that ain't him. That's our peoples, man. You know what I'm saying? They tried to get that one off. Then the picture with the dude way out there sitting on the back of the boat with his feet dangling in the water. They said that was Nolan, man. But if you look closely, it looks like some old man sitting on the back of the boat, right? But let's get back to the picture with Nolan on the boat that they claim was Nolan on the boat, bending over, looked like he digging in a cooler or something like that, right? There's an old man sitting right on that same boat. You can tell an old man physique, bro. Look at him. He got the big head, the big belly, everything old man-ish about him. You understand what I'm saying? So that was probably his uncle right there. They all try to make it seem like the adults choose not to come. Bart say, oh, yeah, my father said he ain't going to go, so I'm going to take the boat. Right? Come on, man. Knock it off.
Their boys are listed as all. They just say they're witnesses, but they don't actually name the witnesses. Let's go.
Here's why I think we should rule out option one, that Nolan stayed behind. Because one, Katie was still right there. Javon, his real best friend, was still there. And even his coach was there around 3:30. So
and none of these people seen him after that time? What? 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 Y'all heard what the man just said, right? None of them seen him after that time? His best friend said he went over there to check on his other friend, and when he came back, Nolan and the boat that he came in there on was gone. Nobody don't take his word for it? What he say don't matter? Huh? None of that counts? How about some of the things we've been saying? Ain't taking all that's just conspiracy theories, huh? Boy, oh boy, I can't wait for this thing to come to a head, man. We put these little fucks in handcuffs and perk walk them. Because then that dude that you're going to see next with this Carl Cox hat, his business is gone. Just like the bootlicker's gone. Huh? How many people unsubscribed from the bootlicker so far? I know he's feeling it right now. He like, God damn. Lost a lot of followers, Papa. Huh? I wonder how many.
How does he not see any of those people? So in my opinion, he either leaves in a boat. The timeline kind of pushes him to that type of decision. Or he's still in the water when there are boats moving around and these kids are intoxicated or possibly caught in another fight that carries on after the second one, and then multiple boats leave.
Now, here's the thing. I also do want to put into his theory. On top of this, Nolan's family said they are cool with Katie. Katie has been at multiple family functions. The family loves Katie. They, I believe, a junior deputy who was Nolan's aunt actually spoke on record in Daily Mail and said that Katie was also the one that alerted his mom when the mom started calling around that, like, no, he didn't say he was staying with me. He left with them. Here's my point. If he was heavily intoxicated, like they claim, what is the odd? And the most people left the island about 5:45, because let's not forget, the sun completely went down at 7:54 p.m. So around 5, that's when, it's starting to get a little darker. Why would a coach who cares about you, looks at you like a son, that had a long conversation with you about life, goals, dreams, he said this, right? Why would he see you on an island, completely smash out your mind, and not say, hey, are you okay? Hey, you have that tryout. Yo, come on, let's go. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't Javon, your real best friend, and Katie, who had just been cradled with you, if you were truly 2 sheets to the wind, why wouldn't those people see you acting 2 sheets to the wind and insist you get on their boats? But instead, a coach, Katie, and Javon, once those boats left, they never saw Warren again. And as much as that lawyer, or whoever put that rumor out, there were 2,000 people in Horn Island. What are you talking about? The police estimate there were between 100 and 200 people on the whole island. Again, around 5:45 is when most people left. So again, how did no one see Warren? Now, let's talk about the wrongful death suits, okay? Keep in mind that a lot of people think that what these boys are actually doing is preparing defenses for a wrongful death suit that can be completely bankrupt, okay? Like they said, maritime laws, this case will only be useful if negligence of a water vessel or craft resulted in Nolan's demise, or Ben Crump pursued the matter in civil court as a wrongful death suit. He is, in fact, pursuing this as a wrongful death suit. I'm pretty sure maritime laws falls under the admiralty of federal jurisdiction. What is maritime law? When you are a captain, you must go.
Maritime law. If I go out on your ship, I should come back on your ship, unless I demand that I stay off your ship. You get it? So they trying to set it up like Nolan Wells was like, man, go ahead, man. I'm good, man. I'm going to stay here with Shorty. And that would take them out of that law. You understand? Maritime. That's some sea stuff. You know what I mean? You gotta know, baby.
Down with the ship. When you offer people passage, you must make sure they safely return, or you are responsible 4, if something happens and they die accidentally, you were negligence. This can bankrupt people. This can bankrupt. The only defense to that is that you tried your best to get them to come on the vessel, but they refused to board. Again, what is the crux? It seems odd that Warren is saying that he can't see Nolan, but he hears somebody screaming at Nolan. You can't see him, so he has to be far away. Screaming at Nolan 3 times, get on the boat, get on the effing boat, get on the boat, screaming. And Nolan is so far away, but nobody hears that, get on the boat, get on the boat. And on top of that, Nolan had to reply loud enough that the people on the boat that were so far away that Warren couldn't see them, no, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to ride out with Katie. But Katie, who according to Warren, he's cradling, doesn't hear that. Katie hears Nolan tell her, yeah, I'm going back with them. I'll see you. Right?
Yeah. And I heard through the grapevine that Katie's parents was there.
Right? Javon. Similar things. And the coach.
Meaning like her dad was there on one of those boats. And y'all hear how these dudes was hating. They always mad that this dude was with Katie, for real. Now, to find out her old man was there, that might be another twist. Because as I was listening to that Cito tape earlier, it sounded like, sad to say, but it sounded like Nolan was getting hands and feet put on him by some grown folks, man. That ain't sound like no kids, man. Sound like grown folks working him over, man. And then when this guy, Wyatt, was like, jump in there and pull out the thing, you heard somebody splash like somebody jumped in the water or somebody was thrown in. Huh? Let's finish up with Teacher Tales so we can get with the boys' lawyers on Nancy Grace crime stories.
It doesn't make sense unless it is a story that protects them from the civil liability. I've said all along, these boys don't seem like they're worried at all with criminal charges. It seems like everybody in that town.
I'm telling you, they seem like they ain't worried about it because they probably didn't do it. Like I just told you, seems like parents were involved. Now, you know, you're a Caucasian man, and you peep your daughter being, what he said, fondled, don't know what he said, snuggle bunnied, huggled up, cuddled up, under the water. What the almost kill this motherfucker. Hey. Cause I know if I'm out somewhere and I see some little motherfucker spooning my daughter under the water, it's gonna be a problem. Huh? Maybe he didn't see it. Maybe one of his friends saw it and told him. Katie over there hugged up with Nolan. Nolan? Who the hell is Nolan? Yeah? Is that they while yo, get this nigga on the boat, man. Let's take this nigga out. I said, I'm gonna whoop this nigga ass. Probably ain't mean to make it go so far. Just probably want to teach the boy a good old boy a lesson, you hear me? Let's finish up.
Including the DA, AG, governor, it's one bound, one sound, okay? However, when it comes to civil liability and violation of maritime law, if you take out that sentence that Warren keeps repeating.
Repeating that Nolan said he didn't want to go. That there saves them from being sued. That's why Warren and everybody else keep yelling that line to y'all. Believe me what I tell y'all, that's exactly why they trying to get that line off. They want you to believe that Nolan decided he did not want to go no matter what nobody said. I'm staying on the island with Katie. Y'all get it?
Nobody else is repeating, but that Warren keeps repeating. That takes away all liability for a wrongful death suit that could bankrupt not only his family, but other families too. It's just something to think about, all right? Again, let me know what you think in the comments. I'm trying to going live later, and I'm going to post another video where we go even further into maritime law. All right? Again, let me know what you think in the comments. I believe this timeline was super helpful, and I'm going to come back with a little bit more that can be food for thought. I'll talk to you later.
Bye. See you later, Tisha.
Amazon.
Thanks for that commentary once again. This part of the show is going to be sponsored by the Human Tripod. What is the Human Tripod, may you ask? Today is the day of the podcast, and everybody needs a cameraman. Get it? Human Tripod, cameraman. It's all one and the same, baby. So what you do, you go to the humantripod@gmail.com, and you leave a message explaining what day and time you would like to have a cameraman pull up at your door or your location or your video site. And it all works off an hourly rate, baby. And we made it affordable for you. So you can order that cameraman. Brando, baby. Let's go. All right, let's get into this, man. Thank you, Tisha Tells, once again. Like I said, so we going in. We got the lawyers coming up, and they're going to try to explain some of this cockamamie bull crap they trying to get across on us, you heard? So with no further delay, let's give it up for Nancy Grace.
Right. The investigation into the Nolan Wells death bombshell. Joining us tonight, Nolan's friend's lawyer. Back. Who's telling the truth? They think they know. But do they? I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us. There's a big honking mark, subcutaneous, deep reddening tissue on his occipital. If I hit somebody in the back of the head, it'd be right there.
There was no indication that there was any kind of contusions on the hand, the arm, no kind of defensive event.
Back to Officer Tatum, star of the Officer Tatum on YouTube. Have the friends taken polygraphs?
Well, from my understanding, all but I believe one took a polygraph.
Let me pause the bootlicker instantly because you heard him clearly say, and according to my knowledge, all but one have taken polygraphs, right? Why are you using the word polygraph when he know? Because he's going to clarify that he know that it's not a polygraph a little bit later. Why you trying to pull that off on us, man? Bootlicker, why you trying to get that over the fence, man? You knew it ain't take no polygraph, man. You knew that. You knew that. But yet you try to sit here and fake to us like he did. And if Nancy Grace wouldn't have grilled you on that, you'd have tried to get that off. You bootlicker.
And from what was told to me that they all passed. And all of the ones that took a polygraph took one.
How they pass something that's not a polygraph, and all of them that took the polygraph, so you keep using that word like that's exactly what they did. And I don't like the fact that you did that. You bootlicker. Huh? 220, 6'2"? I'm ready to try that chin, dog. That's a fact. Set that out, man. You got the means and the method, man. Make it happen, man. Brando.
Without a lawyer. And so, and they cooperated with law enforcement. So from a lot to take the test, but Warren is the young man that I interviewed. So according to what they told me, they all took a lot of tech tests and passed. And it's an equivalent of a lot of tech tests. It's not a traditional lot of tech test, but it's the same theology of trying to get to if a person is lying. I don't know the name of it. It's an equivalent of a lot of tech tests. It's a different methodology. I don't believe it was a...
You don't even know the name of it, man. You try to get it off on us, bruh, by calling it a polygraph, you goofball. That's why you losing fellowships, man.
The polygraph test, I believe they took other stressors in order to analyze if
So
people
then
were
the
telling
answer
the truth or
to
not.
did they take a polygraph would be no. That is Officer Tatum from The Officer Tatum on YouTube. Joining us tonight are two very special guests. They are convinced of the friends, and when I say quoties, I don't mean they are or they're not friends, because I don't know. The young men on the Triton boat that took Nolan Wells to Horn Island. Many argue he was on the boat on the return when foul play occurred. Many argue he was not. In fact, the timeline has blown up because there are reports that Nolan Wells was seen on the island after the friend's boat left, which would exonerate them. Is that true? I don't know. I'm trying to find out. For me, nobody's guilty and everybody's a suspect because we don't know the truth yet. But we will. Joining us tonight, Tyler Cox, the lawyer for several of the young men, with the law firm Taylor and Cox, him being the Cox. Also with us, another veteran trial lawyer, Edward Pulsick, attorney for the boys as well. Actually, they're not boys. They're adults in the eyes of the law due to their age. Gentlemen, thank you for being with us tonight. My first question to clear up this matter, have your clients taken polygraphs? First to you, Tyler Cox.
Nancy, my clients have not taken a polygraph test, and I can tell you why. Because any lawyer worth their salt is going to tell their clients not to take a polygraph test under any circumstances. Two of my clients went in and made statements with me. We're not going to I'm not going to do a polygraph test because, one, as you know, they're not admissible in court. And so it wasn't going to be admissible anyway. You should never, ever, if you're a lawyer, allow your clients to take a polygraph test. Now, we allowed investigators from the jump to have access to their phones, their Life 360, everything. We have cooperated implicitly every step of the way. But no, they didn't take polygraph tests. But what I'll tell you is one of the other boys, who I won't mention their name, but I'm sure that you've heard, took one. The girl that Nolan was with took a stress analysis voice test, and so did the other boy. So that's the test they took. Both of them passed. And so, again, no lawyer worth of salt is going to tell his clients to take a polygraph test or anything like that.
I would like to corroborate part of what Tyler Cox just said. Any defense attorney, whether they're convinced, truly convinced their client is innocent or guilty, they're not going to allow a poly. I've never seen that. I've had a couple of lawyers, maybe 3, in all the years I practiced, all the people I put behind bars, consent before trial to a poly. 3. And they were all criminal cases that carried severe penalties. So, what he's saying is true. Even if you think your client is innocent, very rarely will you see a defense lawyer say, sure, take a poly. However, I disagree with you regarding their admittance into court. Polygraphs are allowed in civil trials.
Hold up, man. I could have sworn I heard this guy say he would not recommend none of his clients take a polygraph test under no circumstances. That shows me an unscrupulous lawyer, somebody who would, know that his client did something and still try to get him off. Still try to get him off. You understand? Why would you not recommend your client take a lie detector? I need to hear why he said he wouldn't do it, because that's crazy. Let's see some.
Before trial to a poly. 3. and they were all criminal cases that carried severe penalties. So, what he's saying is true, even
clients not to take a polygraph test under any circumstances. Two of my clients went in and made statements with me. We're not going to make a, or I'm not going to do a polygraph test because, one, as you know, they're not admissible in court. And so it wasn't going to be admissible anyway. You should never, ever, if you're a lawyer, allow your clients to take a polygraph test. Now, we allowed.
That sounds like you're trying to hide something, my man.
taken polygraphs. First to you, Tyler Cox.
Nancy, my clients have not taken a polygraph test. And I can tell you why. Because any lawyer worth their salt is going to tell their clients not to take a polygraph test under any circumstances. Two of my clients went in and made statements with me. We're not going to make a, or I'm not going to do a polygraph test because, one, as you know, they're not admissible in court. And so it wasn't going to be admissible anyway. You should never, ever, if you're a lawyer, allow your clients to take a polygraph test. Now, we allowed investigators.
All right, what if the police is saying, yo, we want your client to take a polygraph test? And you sitting there talking about, nah, we ain't. You looking deceptive, man. You looking like you trying to, you know what I mean? Flanagan rock the system, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I don't like dudes like him, man. Word. He just sitting here right now telling us how he like to skirt around the law, man. Come on, man. Get out of here, man. If it's going to make him look guilty because he did it, man, that's the right thing to do.
From the jump to have access to their phones, their Life 360, everything. We have cooperated implicitly every step of the way. But no, they didn't take polygraph tests. But what I'll tell you is one of the other boys, who I won't mention their name, but I'm sure that you've heard, took one. The girl that Nolan was with took a stress analysis voice test, and so did the other boy. So that's the test they took. Both of them passed. And so, again, no lawyer worth the salt is going to tell his clients to take a polygraph test or anything like that.
I would like to corroborate part of what Tyler Cox.
Clearly, he just now said it's not admissible in court, which means you can't even use the results in court, right? So why not put your client to the test to see if he did this shit? Simple. Clear some minds, you know what I mean? But no, they rather them not take it and keep you in the dark.
Said any defense attorney, whether they're convinced, truly convinced their client is innocent or guilty, they're not going to allow a poly. I've never seen that. I've had a couple of lawyers, maybe 3, in all the years I practiced, all the people I put behind bars, consent before trial to a poly.
Y'all heard what she said, right? So that y'all know what that means, right? Anytime you go to court, and if your lawyer suggests that you take some type of polygraph test, fire that motherfucker. Understand? Because the man just said there's no way in hell he would ever let his client take a polygraph. So y'all know what that means, right? Never give permission to be polygraphed. Okay? Okay.
3. And they were all criminal cases that carried severe penalties. So, what he's saying is true, even if you think your client is innocent. Very rarely will you see a defense lawyer say, sure, take a poly. However, I disagree with you regarding their admittance into court. Polygraphs are allowed in civil trials. O.J. Simpson, he flunked horribly. And if both sides stipulate polygraph is taken, it can come into a criminal trial. The reality is that never happens. That never happens.
Right. At the time that we first cooperated with police, the first very week, the days after, just 1 to 2 days after the disappearance of Nolan Wells, we're not thinking about a civil suit. We're not thinking about that. We're thinking about how can we provide as much information to authorities so that they can find Nolan Wells. And it was not until after we spoke to officers and investigators that Nolan, unfortunately, his body was found on Horn Island, washed up.
What type of information that y'all was getting from your clients that y'all thought you were gonna find somebody that floated up where he left, where the last place he was found, just to be seen? What information was y'all trying to get to find Nolan? I'm curious because them same clients had boats that they could have went back to the island the same night to check to see if Nolan was out there. Huh? They didn't need no information. They had boats. They could have jumped in there and just went back, man. It was only an hour ride. You know what I mean? So what information, man? Don't give us that, because that ain't true, bruh. Y'all was over there trying to cover the fact that they had something to do with it. That's what happened.
And it's unfortunate, and I hate that for Nolan, because by all accounts he was an incredible person. He was just truly remarkable in almost every sense of the word. But we're not thinking about a civil suit at that point in time. We're trying to help authorities.
You wasn't thinking about the civil suit, man. You wasn't see how they lie? They lie. You don't think from the rip they was thinking about the civil suit? People coming after they bread? Huh? Of course they was, man. But he gonna make it seem like we wasn't worried about no civil suit. We was worried about Nolan, man. Y'all already knew where Nolan was at, man. Y'all was worried about that civil suit, Papa. Knock it off. I see you got the Carl Cox hat right there, too. We y'all a bunch of gay boys or something? What's the Carl Cox? We don't call Cox. We don't call Cox, motherfucker. Get out of here with that Carl Cox shit.
Find a friend who we can't find either.
Edward Polczyk joining us in addition to Tyler Cox, both of them veteran trial lawyers. He is with Taylor Dykema. Edward, how did you get involved in this case?
Well, I'd rather not.
I hope he getting ready to say he'd rather not say, right? And I ain't never seen this before. I just know a shiesty dude when I see one. He'd rather not say, right? But y'all know who this is, right? He represented Donald Trump, and he represented the girl who was getting ready to get married to the dude that took on the Safari, and then he chased around the hotel butt ass naked till he caught her and hung up in the closet or some shit. Y'all know the story. But he represented that bozo too. And now he is again representing some other unscrupulous type characters, right? That's his MO. Carl Cox. Pause, because that sounds a little homo-ish if you ask me.
Talk about that. I can just tell you this. I can tell you that it was through a friend of a friend.
You're kidding, right? You're kidding me. Because when you tell me I'd rather not answer.
Well, I want to protect the names.
Igniting me to find out how.
You want to protect the names of who, man? Yo, Nolan is dead, man. We trying to get to the bottom of this, and everybody trying to protect somebody, man. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't no protecting nothing right about now, man. How you get involved with this case, bruh? And how much they paying you for this nonsense you talking?
Got involved in the case.
Well, hold on. I can tell you a little bit more. I can tell you this. I can tell you a close friend who knows the Ocean Springs, Mississippi community very, very well, is from the area, connected me to a friend of his.
See, they're all friends. They're all friends, y'all. Yeah. That's right. A friend of a friend told me he needed a friend to come in and do a friend a favor. You feel me? Fuck out of here.
Then I found myself speaking to Tyler here, and Tyler and I instantly became very close friends. We both have blue pickup trucks.
And y'all know the reason why this is, man, because Tyler probably from the town, Ocean Springs, right? Now, when you want to bring a lawyer in from out of town, out of state, he got to be working with a lawyer that's from the town. You understand? And that's where old fat boy up top come from? These are they lawyers, man. He represents all three of them clients. And so does the other dude. So when they keep trying to mix it up like he ain't his boss, technically he probably telling that dude what to do all day long, every day. You feel me?
So now we're the Blues Brothers. We just became very close. We hit it off. Then I had the opportunity to speak to Warren, speak to Morgan.
Yeah, y'all hit it off because y'all both was put on the case, on the mission through your friends. And we would like to know who these good buddies of y'all's are.
Speak
on the case. Hey Cox, co-Cox. Make this thing go away from me, baby.
to Jax, and we hit it off also. And I immediately realized these are incredibly fine young men. I realized
Okay,
right
hold
away
on.
I wanted to help them out.
Ed, to you and Tyler. I'm not saying they have lied, and I'm not saying they haven't lied. I don't know. I have no reason to disbelieve your clients or to believe them. But you do know that people can look you right in the face and lie through your teeth, and you believe them. I've done it. I've had witnesses that I found out were lying to me, and it was a huge blow. I've had police officers. I worked a child trafficking case. My first child trafficking case. Worked it. I finally found the little girl. I went into a room full of sex workers. They went, she's in there. I'm like, there's no child in there. They went, she's the one in the white boots. She looked like she was 38 years old. She's 14. That said, we won the case. But fast forward about 10 months later, I was walking through the grand jury room and I saw these horrible federal court sketches. I'm like, oh my stars, is that who I think it is? It was my vice cops. They had been stealing from dopers and they got indicted by the feds. And I had been out on the street with them every day for months trying to prove a child trafficking case. So, just because somebody tells you the sky is blue does not mean the sky is blue. You do know that, right?
Well, I can tell you this: they were off Horn Island at 4:30 p.m. on July 4th, and Nolan Wells was seen alive.
Now we're getting somewhere.
No, he wasn't. He said, "Now who was he seen alive by after that?" Because his friend, Nolan Wells' friend, said clearly, 3:40, he came back. Nolan and the boat was gone. Who are we to believe, man? You with the story that you got from Warren and Wyatt and the rest of those goofies, or Nolan's friend who seems to really care about what happened to his buddy, huh? Cole Cox?
How can you prove that to me other than...
I say Cole Cox because he liked to eat cold cocks.
you? I assume you've got GPS tracking and the call to CETO?
We have witnesses among other things, but I can also tell you that
your witnesses don't hold no weight, none, nada, Nathan. Get out of here with that. You not gonna say, because first of all, a couple of your witnesses came and said, no, that's not even Nolan, that's me and my boy. Huh? Don't forget to mention that too. Why you mentioning these all-star witnesses that you got?
this. They were off the island at 4:30 p.m. and Nolan Wells was seen alive by multiple people at 6 p.m. still on the island. And I'm sure Tyler would be happy to elaborate on that. But this is a no doubt 100%.
Please tell me, Tyler.
Yes.
Because I don't believe any of these people, and I don't disbelieve any of these people. I want to hear about witnesses that spotted him alive after 4:30, because I believe I can confirm the boat left.
I could confirm it too, man, if y'all just want somebody to say, yeah, I seen him. Because they can't prove it. They ain't got a picture, a timestamp, nothing, just your word. My man, we don't just, nowadays you don't just take no. I got hit by a car. Drunk driver, left the scene. Yeah, came back to the scene. I recorded everything. Huh? But you know what the police told me? They couldn't do nothing because they ain't see it.
Around 4:30. And I'm referring to the Triton. That's the boat they were on.
So-
There are a lot of boats. Let's see the video of all the boats out there. So when I say Triton, I'm talking about the boat Nolan was on the way to the island. There's a lot of boats out there and a lot of witnesses too. This is from the Officer Tatum. Okay. There are witnesses placing him there at 6. And I want to be very clear, gentlemen, that I'm not convinced he drowned just because somebody said so. Even if he did drown, that does not mean that there wasn't foul play. Why is that mark on the back of his head? Was he hit on the head and then fell in the water? Was he held under the water? Was it an accident? I don't know. But I am very interested in witnesses that place him alive at 6 p.m. Please tell me, Tyler Cox.
So Nancy, look, we have had multiple witnesses reach out to us, 2 confirmed witnesses that saw Nolan Wells on the island.
What makes them confirm, my man? Like, I hate the way these people talk, man. Like, confirm. Like, who said they confirmed? You? Who confirmed them? And who confirmed what they saw? Just because they said, yeah, we saw him. Nah, man, we ain't going for that, bruh. You gonna need to show me a picture, man. And with a time stamp date, oh, man, not nowadays. It's 2026, baby. Y'all bugging. You keep saying confirm like it's a fact. Can we sue you, motherfucker, for acting like it's a fact when it's not? Huh? Can we, please? If it's proven not to be a fact, can we get at you niggas? Like, can we sue y'all? For the emotional stress you're giving me by saying something I just know you can't prove.
Around 6 p.m. on July 4th. Well after the Triton, as you...
Look at this kid on the screen, man. Imagine that kid right there telling his buddies, yo, go ahead, leave me out here on the island without my phone, sneak, no car keys when I get back, nothing. I still don't even know how he got to the boat if he left his car at the house. You understand what I'm saying? If he left his car at the house, how he get to the boat? Because clearly Warren and them niggas left him in the morning. They went to McDonald's and got something to eat. Then went to Warren house. Then got the boat, was already tired. And then they went to Bart's, the grandfather house to meet up with everybody else. But remember what Warren said. Nolan wasn't with us at this time. So how did he get to the dock if he didn't drive his car? Huh? How did he get to the... Was it in walking distance? I don't know. Clear all this up for us, baby. How he got to the dock if he wasn't with y'all when y'all left? I think he drove, left his car at the pier, and y'all drove his car back to the crib. That's what I'm thinking.
Said left around 4:30. And so those witnesses have went to...
What about the witness that said that he didn't see Nolan no more on the island after 3:40, bruh? And that's his best friend. You think he would notice if Nolan was still on the island at 5 o'clock, my man?
Investigators, they've talked to the police, and they've done what they're supposed to do. We've cooperated 100%. So has...
Where did they...
That picture right there. You see Nolan on the back of that boat right there? Let me get it for y'all. Hold on. Let me get it for y'all. Let me show y'all this shit. You see Nolan on the back of that boat? Hold on. Let's get it. Let's pull it up. Pull that picture up. Pull that picture up. What number we looking at? We at 1257, right? 1257. All right, let's get to the boat. 1257, right? Right in here. Let's go here. Let's move
I'm
it up.
pretty sure, Nancy, they were aware of the time. I'm not sure if they were drinking or not.
Hold on. See, Nolan, you sound like a goofball, homie. You sound like a goofy. You ain't sure if they was drinking or not, but you sure they saw Nolan. All right, y'all. Y'all see this picture of Nolan on that boat right there? They say that's Nolan, but those don't look like no blue shorts. And then this dude got his back turned, can't see his face at all, right? But if let's just say that is Nolan, who is this? Is this not a grown ass man sitting here? Huh? This dude right here. Does this look like a teenager to you? Did this old fart right here look anything under the age of 18? Please, please, please. And how about this old gray-haired motherfucker right here? Huh? He on the front of the boat. Hold up. Move it up.
They see that?
Move it up. Move it up. Hold up. Move it up. Come on.
First to you, Tyler.
How? I don't see how they say that's Nolan.
I'm
Hold up. Stop it.
not sure if the witness.
Hey, control room, show me that picture of Nolan on the boat.
He ain't sure about nothing. He ain't sure about anything, is he? But he sure his witnesses recognizes Nolan on the boat after 5 o'clock or some nonsense he trying to spew to us. Tell me this ain't an old ass man right here. Huh? How about this dude right here? Do he look like he about 18? Huh? This dude look like he in his 50s. You understand me? Look at his hair. He got a ponytail, bruh. What are we talking about here? You understand what I'm saying? Look at this dude, Bill Buddy, man. Look at this.
Because it matches his swimsuit. Did they see that? How can they
How did homeboy? We don't believe you, man.
see him? Tyler Cox. Where did the witnesses see them? Do they know him well enough to make a positive ID? Hey, speaking of a positive ID, control room, please pull up a photo that we showed a couple of days ago. There are 2 or 3 women, white females, walking along the beach, as I recall, each clad in a bikini. There is one, I believe, a white male and one black male walking with them. That can you zoom in a little bit? That's not really helping me that much. Witnesses know Nolan. Can they identify him? Because I'm looking right at this and I cannot identify if the male behind the female on the white, the female wearing a white hat, I can't tell if that's Nolan or not. It's a very blurry photo. I can't make it out. So, do your witnesses
and then
know him?
They always pick a picture.
Let me see my guest, please.
He's behind somebody.
Mr.
You can't even
Pulsick,
see him.
Mr.
He's
Cox.
behind somebody.
I know
Why
the
they don't
two
get a
of you.
picture
I
of
don't
him
see
up
both of
front,
them. There they are.
standing clear?
The two of you have
body
tried a
shot.
lot of cases, as have I.
Clearly, this is from a
To
video.
get in or attack an eyewitness, and it's in the code, the official code of Mississippi annotated. There are prescribed methods under which you cross-examine an eyewitness. For instance, does the witness know the target? Was the lighting sufficient? How far away was the witness? What were the conditions of the eyewitness identification? Was the eyewitness inebriated or high or otherwise incapacitated?
Don't look nothing
How
like
far
Nolan
away
Wells
were
right
they?
there,
Do
man.
they wear glasses?
Once
It goes
again.
on and on and on. It's laid out in the
Once again, they got this. Nancy, that picture right there don't show us nothing. Even if they took those little blurs off the face, you couldn't see his face, right? You couldn't see it because they always showing you a picture of somebody behind somebody with their back turned, bent over, digging in the sun. You can't see exactly who they are. You can't use that, man, as evidence of nothing, bruh. It's just like you put a lineup in front of somebody and the picture of the perpetrator's in there, right? But if he picked the wrong person, that whole lineup goes out the window, bruh.
code. Tell me about these witnesses. How do they know it was Nolan? Hey, control room, show me that picture of Nolan on the boat. He's bent over. All I can see are his legs and his behind. The only reason I think that's Nolan is because it matches his swimsuit. Did they see that? How can they identify Nolan? First to you, Tyler.
Well, I'm not sure if the witnesses saw that picture that you just put on screen, but I can confirm to you that these witnesses know Nolan. That to investigators. They told them that from the very start.
Had they been drinking?
That I do not know.
How are they sure it was 6 o'clock? Look, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm asking the questions I would ask in court. How do they know it was 6 o'clock? Did they go, oh, there's Nolan Wells at 6 p.m.?
Well, I'm pretty sure, Nancy, they were aware of the time. I'm not sure if they were drinking.
How you know that they were sure of the time, my man? They're all in the water. Nobody got on no jury. Look, we looking at the picture right here. Everything they got on, none of them got on their watch. Nobody got on the watch, buddy. Huh? And then all their phones is on the boat. So how are you so sure that they knew what time it is? Yeah, close your eyes and think about this one as you spew these lies, buddy. Huh? Come on.
Or not. But they're the ones that came forward to.
Yeah, I come forward too if somebody paid me to say I saw Nolan at a certain time. I come forward too.
Police and investigators. And that's their story to tell. What I'm telling you is they made a positive ID on Nolan Wells around 6 o'clock. And they told that to.
And we want to see the pictures that they made these positive IDs off of, bruh. That's all we saying. Because you ain't going to say it was the ones that we just saw with him bent over on the boat or the one with him walking down the beach with the girls. None of that's good, man. None of that's admissible, bruh. You can't, he's not legible. It's not, you can't even tell us know who that is, man. We don't even know what y'all doing showing that picture. Huh? If that's what y'all got for evidence, man, y'all might as well go back to the drawing board, man, because that right there, other than the fact y'all still trying to cover this shit up right in front of us, man.
Investigators, all while our clients were off the island around 4:30. So we have positive identification on Nolan on the island an hour and a half after our clients left. So, as you know from your experience as a prosecutor, they can't do two things at once. They can't be on the island at 6 o'clock and be on the boat going off the island at 4:30. So, that's where we are. Our clients have nothing to do with the death of Nolan Wells. We don't know how he died. We want to know. Please tell us. Somebody. We want to know just as much as anyone.
We trying to tell you, and y'all trying to hit us with this nonsense, which is absolutely ridiculous. Huh? You said now you pushed it up to 6 o'clock? Nolan was on the island at 6 o'clock even? Yo, y'all is stretching. That's rich, homie. Yo, Nancy, what's up, Nancy? Do to them what you did to the bootlicker, man. They seem to have your hands tied, Nancy. Get in their ass, Nancy.
Else. Our clients loved Nolan Wells. They were brothers to Nolan Wells. I've still yet to hear one bad thing about Nolan Wells. He was a good Ocean Springs kid. Just as Chuck Bordy says all the time in the courtroom, these are good Ocean Springs people. So,
yo, my man, good people from the Bronx, good people from Queens, good people from all over the world get in the fight with other good people over certain situations, man. Sometimes they even get into beef with each other over women, man. You know, girls like Katie, the girl, Katie, yeah. Friends fight over girls, bruh. And accidents happen. So if it was an accident, that's what you say. Yo, he tried to bully me out the broad, you know what I'm saying? I told him to leave her alone. You know, we got to scrapping. One thing led to another. He hit the back of his head. He stopped moving. What makes it worse is the cover-up, people. The cover-up is what's making it bad for y'all, you know? Because we probably would have accepted the fact that one of y'all gave him a one-on over the girl, you know, Katie, and then an accident happened. Because it didn't look like near one of y'all could really, like, take him by yourself, you know? But the accident happened, and then y'all tried to cover it up, man. That's where the problem comes in at, when y'all tried to cover it up, man. Don't play with us, man.
Nolan was a good Ocean Springs person too. They love Nolan. We want to know. Will someone
Okay,
please
just stop right there,
tell us?
Tyler. Tyler, I've got 1 hour, and nobody's running for miscongeniality. Let's just let it be noted, judicial notice. They were all good. Everybody's good. Okay. Tyler,
Yes.
the witnesses that came forward, here's something that would tend to corroborate them, is if multiple witnesses said the same thing. Witnesses separated in time and space. Witnesses.
Exactly. And they know we was going to say that. That's why they made the number 2. Huh? Because if it's 1, you tell them, nah, but it's 2. But they ain't want to make it 3 because they're going overboard. You know what I mean? Now you got to have 3 people telling the same lies. So let's just stick with 2. Right? Come on, man. We got this, man.
That are not all friends. Witnesses that are not good friends with your clients, that may have a reason to be fuzzy on the time. I'm not saying they are, or that they're not. Here's my question to you. Are these witnesses friends of your clients?
I don't think they're friends. I mean, they're not even the same age.
Okay. Next question.
So if they're not the same age, and they're not friends, how they so sure that was Nolan, man? How they know that wasn't Tristan, man? You understand what I'm saying? They're not friends. They don't know him. They Caucasians, I would assume, right? And in the world I come from, they say Caucasians can't really identify black men. And vice versa. A black man can't really identify a white boy. They all look the same to us, man. And we look the same to all of them motherfuckers. Understand? Don't every Chinese person look the same to you, bruh? Okay. So for your witnesses to come out and say that they 100% sure that was Nolan, for both of them to say it, I think you barking up the wrong tree with that nonsense, homeboy. Knock it off, please.
How many witnesses place him there on the island at 6-ish?
At least 2 that I know.
2. Do the witnesses know each other?
Yes.
Of course they do.
Were they together that day?
Yes.
Of course they were.
Have they had a chance to discuss their recollections with each other before they came to police?
Well, I'm sure they did. I mean,
Right
look,
then. So
they did what they
that
were supposed to do, and they spoke to police officers.
My man, you doing that right there? Nah, bruh. Nah, we ain't going for that. You know what I'm saying? They know each other. They both, come on, get out of here with that, man. That's nonsense, man. That's hogwash.
And you know as well as I do that if investigators or a DA's office had any sort of probable cause to make an arrest in a case like this, they would. They would have.
Or they may be gathering evidence to make sure they've got all the evidence that there is. I mean, I would wait until I had all the evidence, including a completed autopsy. You know what? I'm going to jump ahead. But regarding the body, regarding Nolan's body, we've heard all sorts of inflammatory things. But the one thing that, well, many things are very interesting and probative. For instance, why was Nolan's neck of so much interest to the original medical examiner that it was removed? His foot wasn't removed. His toe wasn't removed. His ear wasn't removed. Why his neck? The lungs and the neck were removed, which obviously Edward Pulsick touches on COD, cause of death. I understand why the medical examiner took his lungs. He had to run tests on them to determine, did he drown? Of course, all three of us know you can drown and there still be foul play. Somebody whacked you on the head. If somebody held you underwater, it could be any number of things. Or it could be an innocent drowning. But why the throat? What was curious about the throat, Ed? Were there marks on the throat? Was there a ligature mark? Was there manual strangulation? Was there a compression? Were there bruises? Were there scratches? I don't know. Was a hyoid missing? I could go on, but I won't. Do either of you know what was of interest to the medical examiner in the removal of Nolan's throat?
I'll tell you this. Listen, we're not coroners. We're not medical examiners. We want to know what happened to him just as much as everyone else. Quite frankly, more. Because Nolan was their best friend. Warren, Morgan, Jax. Nolan was their best friend. We want to know what happened. We haven't examined Nolan's body. We're not scientists.
I just thought maybe you had been somehow told.
This dude is a he's a smug little cocksucker. You know what I mean? He's a little arrogant little prick, ain't he? Yeah.
Because throat. Okay, that's a note. We don't know why they took his throat.
Yeah, we don't want to speculate.
Let me start with an open-ended question to you gentlemen. I started with, why haven't they taken a polygraph? I want to hear what your clients are saying happened that day, because my interest is piqued because you stated a young lady, and I assume this is Katie, the mysterious Katie, who turns out not to be that mysterious at all. Much was made of that. Now, one thing about Katie, originally, one or some of your clients said he was with some girl, we don't know her. Then it turned out they had been texting with her, so they did know her. There may be an innocent explanation for that, or not. So, explain to me, who were they talking about when they said he was with a girl, we don't know her? He had never met her before, but yet they were texting with Katie, the girl he had been with. I'll throw that to you, Tyler. Do you know the answer to that?
Sure. So they didn't know Katie, and they believe that Nolan didn't know Katie before that day. But you have to remember, once they started getting suspicious that Nolan wasn't with them anymore, they start asking themselves, okay, well, where's Nolan? They start texting everyone that they knew. Hey, have you seen Nolan? Do you know where Nolan is? Did he make it back home?
We don't believe you.
All before they called Christine Wells that night, they start asking everybody. And so eventually they end up getting, through mutual friends, whoever, Katie's number. And so I believe it was maybe either Snapchat or text message. They got in communication with Katie. And Katie says, I don't know. We thought he was leaving with y'all. Well, I don't believe.
They want us to believe that little kid right there made the big boy decision to stay on the island with Katie. He look like a little kid, man. 18 is a little kid, son. And I believe a little kid gonna leave with who they came with, man.
That's the case, obviously, because he did not leave with our boys. We don't know what happened to him, but
he left with them. He left with them. Because his best friend said when he came back, the boat was gone, Nolan was gone, and he stayed on the island. So he was walking around. He ain't running out Nolan or nothing. So what happened to Nolan? In between that time, man, knock it off.
Katie's numbers, because they.
What's your take on it, Ed? Because I think he's saying they did know Katie. I couldn't tell if he said did or didn't. Did he say they all did know Katie?
No, they did not.
They didn't know Katie. All right, and they determined who she was. Okay,
Right.
began to get suspicious. Where is Nolan? When did they get suspicious?
It was later that night. I believe it was around 9 or 10 o'clock, maybe even 11, that they start saying, oh, well, has anyone seen Nolan? Where's Nolan? Did he make it back home? Does anybody know? They start calling around, texting, asking everybody. And once they determined that no one had the answer about what.
Once they got their stories together, That's when they started trying to call everybody in, implement this and that, right? Come on, man. They've been back since 4 o'clock. We're going to get them 5 o'clock. They've been back on the mainlands, man. And they wait till all get off, you fat garbage eating troll.
Where Nolan was, that's when they called Christine Wells. And then they stayed on the phone, my client stayed on the phone with Christine Wells for about 5 or 6 minutes. And then he tells her, look, I'm going to call the Coast Guard just to make sure.
Okay.
You're looking for
Ed
a body. So
also
what that ain't.
Veteran trial lawyer.
Man, listen.
Ed, do you concur with that explanation of why they first said, I don't know her, we don't know her, he didn't know her, and then we find out that they had actually been texting with Katie? What's your understanding of that? Again, I had my favorite trial judge, Luther Alverson, would tell every jury, it is your duty to make all witnesses speak the truth. What does that mean? To reconcile the different seemingly conflicting stories to make everyone be telling the truth and impugn perjury on no one. So maybe there's an explanation for this. Why do they say, we don't know her, and then they're texting her? So they did know her.
That characterization, they didn't say that. There's no contradiction. I can just tell you this. They didn't know her. Nolan was with her much of the day.
They clearly said they knew Katie, bruh. Katie, you know Katie. He said, take Katie, he texted Katie. Katie told him the last time she seen Nolan was when y'all was telling him to get on the boat. He clearly said that, my man, cockhead. The fuck is wrong with these goofies, man?
And he was still on the island when they left. He apparently spent much of the day with this young lady. That seems to be what happened. But no, there was this young lady was not part of their friend group. That's right.
Okay, so when they say they didn't know her.
But yet she was supposed to go back to the after party with them. Think about what you're saying, cockhead. Cockhead, think about what you're saying. The boys told us earlier that all of them was supposed to go back to the house party. That's why we saying, so if Katie gonna be at the house party, why Nolan need to stay on the island with her? Huh? They claim they just met, right? But I believe I heard a previous story where Katie's family knows the Wells family pretty well. Like they really been at a couple of events together type situation. Right? We're gonna look into that. But these dudes here is goofies on the screen, man.
But yet they were texting her, they did know her name.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that characterization. Yeah, the
well,
premise,
enlighten me, I want to know.
Flawed. Yeah, the premise is flawed. She's not part of their friend group. They don't know.
It don't matter, man. So, cause you ain't part of the friend group, we don't know you from the show? Huh? What are you talking about, homeboy? You bugging? You know all these little rich kids know each other, man. That's why they all on Horn Island, man. They all go there every year, man. They said it, man. And if you look at the pictures that y'all keep showing us, everybody in those pictures look familiar with each other, man. Nobody look like they don't know who they standing next to. So please, do us a favor and knock that bullshit off, my man.
Know her. I can tell you that it does appear, once again, it appears that Nolan was with this young lady for much of the day. That does seem to be confirmed by many witnesses. And I can tell you this, Nancy, one thing about this island, I did have the opportunity to go to Horn Island. And when you go to the island, everything starts to make sense.
I want to know what makes sense, man.
The first picture was maybe not so accurate. If you go to the part of Horn Island where, these events all occurred, you see that there are really no trees on that part of the island. It's flat, it's open, There are no visual obstructions, so there's no trees, there's no shelter, there's no nothing, and it was broad daylight with thousands of people there. Meaning there was no opportunity for foul play during daylight hours.
Nolan just walked off into the abyss. Yeah. My fault. Yeah, we getting back to the goofballs on the screen here, right? Look at this shit here, man. You trying to tell me?
Whole thing starts to unravel.
Look at it.
Ed,
You have to go to the island.
please.
You have to go to
There's
the island.
opportunity for foul play. He could have been whacked
Not
on
in
the
this
head on a
environment.
boat,
Not in
pushed
this-
over. There's
I'm telling you, not in this.
You see these pictures? This the island on. You see right here where I'm the mouse. Y'all see the mouse? That's where the body was found. Right here. Right in here. Which is also the last place he was seen. So it's crazy how the body wound up right back there. Like it came around corners and all that, man. That's crazy, right?
have to be
I
on the
was there.
beach. It could be
I'm telling you.
anywhere.
You got to understand, it's a 10-mile long barrier island, but it's only a few hundred yards wide in most places. There's nowhere to hide.
Let me see the video and show it to Ed and Tyler. The video of all those boats. Anything could have happened between those boats. Anything.
Well, but
Even
but
an
Nancy,
accident could happen between those boats. And
but
so
Nancy-
many people are drunk, I don't think they're paying attention.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? We could always say anything is possible. An asteroid could strike right now. But I am telling you that there are a lot of people who have talked about this case and have said things that are not true, and they haven't been to the island. They've got to go to the island. If you don't go to the island, you can't speak with authority about the case. And I won't name names, but a lot of people who have hurt these fine young men and have defamed them, they've never visited the island, and I'm willing to bet that they've never visited the islands. Look at it right there. That shot you have right there. Broad daylight with thousands of people there. The picture speaks for itself.
I agree with what you're saying. I agree that it would be nearly impossible for foul play to take place on that beach. Again, I direct your attention to the gathering of boats with the boats closely together. Everybody's drinking, nobody's paying attention. Like, I can't tell what's going on between the boats at a distance. I don't know. I don't know what's happening in the water. I don't know. That
I can tell you
said,
this.
I agree. I don't think anything
Yes.
happened out in the plain view on the beach. But there are other
And-
alternatives.
I want to add, though, we have a difference of opinion. When I see that video of the boats in the water there, that also is not a good place to get away with murder. Now, we have been very careful. We have refrained from speculation. We have refrained from guessing, and we're going to continue to do that. However, plain view, not a secretive environment. It just isn't.
I agree the beach is not secretive, and I also agree the whole island is not
All
secretive.
right. So just because it ain't secretive, what you trying to say, goofball? Huh? What you trying to say? That just means that more people is involved with the situation. Dingbat. Huh? A bigger cover up than you would imagine. Look at Warren. He on a boat. He got 2 beers in his hand. You understand? Look at Warren. Look at Warren right there.
Because there's really nowhere to hide there anyway. Guys, let me move to the boat, the Triton. Has the boat been searched by authorities?
I do not believe that it has been searched by authorities, but
Why the not? You understand what I'm saying? Why? Why not? Right? If you were trying to get to the bottom of this, man, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to confiscate all boats involved, man. Even Tristan's boat. The dude came out there with his uncle. You know what I mean? All boats were supposed to have been confiscated and checked. You're going to ask Ben Crump if you could put the dogs on there knowing it's not his boat. He can't give you permission to do that. And then when you know it's not his boat and ask him if he could do it and he don't respond, right? That's how I make a little, we offered him and he refused. He ain't even answer the phone for you goofies.
It's been available to authorities this entire time. If authorities wanted to come see it, they're more than able to, and have been.
Okay, I find that very interesting, Tyler, and I'll tell you why. In so many cases that I've prosecuted and covered and investigated, you see defendants, targets, trying to get rid of evidence. You see them cleaning the boat. You see them washing it down. You see them trying all sorts of methods to get rid of evidence. It's interesting to me and somewhat probative that your clients have offered the boat up to law enforcement to come and search it. I'm curious, has the boat not just been searched with the naked eye? Has luminol been used on the boat? Has alternative light sources been used on the boat? Has a cadaver dog come to the boat? Has a scent dog come to the boat? To your knowledge, either one of you.
To my knowledge,
pause. I bet you I could, before he even open his mouth and say something, I bet you he's going to say he don't know. You understand what I'm saying? They don't know nothing. They just going by what these little goofballs told them, right? They don't know jack. They've been paid off to sit here and just deny what we already know. Because they don't know nothing. They can't offer no new information or anything. They just sitting here wasting our time, man.
Nancy, I do not believe that has happened. But again,
understand. Why not, bruh? You as this high-powered lawyer, you think you would know this, man, by now. It's only a month later, bruh. The fuck you goofies get paid for, man? The fuck out of here.
Either one of them. None of them own that boat. So if it has, you would have to ask the owners.
Exactly. So why did the Navy people come out and make such a big deal about Mr. Crump not wanting the cadaver dogs on the boat when they knew clearly it wasn't his boat, right? And here you go saying now you're trying to flip the script. Now you're trying to flip the script. Right? Like, if they went from the start, went to Crumping them. Like, they ain't know they had to go to the original owners and shit. Come on, man, with this goofy shit y'all pulling, man. Stupid niggas, man.
Do I look like I just fell off the turnip truck? Maybe I do, because we did sell turnips at the farmer's market.
Yo, Nancy,
when I was growing up. That said, man. You telling me my clients don't own the boat, so you'd have to ask the owner. Come on. You and Paulsick know if the boat has been searched. You know if cadaver dogs or scent dogs, luminol or alternative light has been used on the boat. Can you just tell me? Yes, no. It's not your client's fault. It's law enforcement's fault if they haven't done it.
If authorities thought that there was something to find on that boat, don't you think this far out they would have already done it?
Exactly. Y'all, they are proving our. What the make you? It's dude. No, as a lawyer, Mr. Ed, fat boy with a beard. Do you think they should have checked those boats, man? Like technically, an investigation going on. 30 people went out on 3 boats. One of those people that was on those. They on those boats came up missing. right? And it's unclear as to which one of those boats he got back on going out, right? Because they claim he didn't get on no boat. He stayed there. So don't you think common sense would say we got to take all three boats to find out which one he even came back on? Oh, yeah, bruh. And this is just common sense. Some shit that you should have did. These are facts, man. Come on. What are we talking about here? You don't know if the police knew they should have... Man, shut your fat ass up, because you sound like a bogus-ass lawyer. You sound like Gregornopolis, man.
I would think in the ordinary course of an investigation into potential foul play, I would have gone out there and done it. Just
That's if you believe there was potential foul play.
Just to say I searched it and it was clean. I didn't find any blood.
Well, now so you're asking about it for law enforcement.
To your knowledge, has it been searched? Have you been told by anyone that it was searched?
I don't have any involvement with the law enforcement. I don't have any involvement in the investigation.
I'm going to take that as a no.
Investigation. You can take it how you want. We're conducting our own investigation.
He said, I
Attention, home.
Punk nigga think he tough. Oh, you can take it how you want. Man, shut your little bitch ass up. You can't fight like that, homeboy. You can't fight like that, homeboy. You talking too tough for me now. And all that mob style shit you talking, man, that shit is dead and gone, bro. Huh? Knock it off with the tough talk, Tony, because you're soft. You let these little white boys boss you around and tell you what it is. Because you ain't solving nothing.
Owners, Nancy Grace here. Scammers are using AI to steal.
But I got to get my thing off. This part of the show is being sponsored by the stickermill.com. So if you go to stickermill.com/Dabrand, you can get yourself 10 free stickers on me, baby. And you're going to like them so much, you're going to reorder. Now let's go.
Edward Pulsick, attorney for the boys as well. Tell me what you can about the CETO call. I've had renowned experts say this wasn't doctored. I've had renowned experts say this was totally doctored. Have you heard the original CETO call from Mississippi Department Marine Resources? Have either...
Before they even get into this part of the show, my opinion is that woman did not doctor no tape. She got a copy of the CETO tape, and if it was doctored, it was doctored from the original, like from the CETO people. And you would ask yourself, why would they do that, right? Yeah, why would? But the first thing woman say, yeah, it's clearly doctored. Nah, it's clearly not.
You listen to that call, because I've heard it so many times, I'm now jaded. Based on what people think they're hearing, based on enhancements. I even had my own producer, who does not have a dog in this fight, no skin in the game, enhance it. But I want to hear what you guys know about the CETO call. My mind is open.
Look, anybody can adjust the gain. Anybody can enhance it or sweeten it. But it doesn't change the fact that just because you put words over some audio means...
No. Don't do that. Don't do that, homeboy, just because you put some words over audio. She ain't put no words over the audio, bro. You was headed up the right tree at first. You said anybody can add some gain. Yeah, that's what she did. She added some gain. She put some noise reduction, things of that nature. That's not adding anything, brother.
That those words are now attributable to what is on the call. Look, another boy called CETO. We have video that was released of Brandon Tatum. He posted it, and it shows who all was on the boat. At no point in time...
My man, so you going for that too, right? Brandon Tatum, bootlicker. Come on, man. Yo, you using the wrong people as references, man, because when you mentioned the bootlicker, you barked up the wrong tree instantly. Because we don't fuck with that dude. We don't believe nothing he says, homeboy. I'm looking at this tape. Y'all see that tape on there? Right? They want us to believe that this is what was going on during that C-call tape. That what we see is not what was going on that CETO tape. Right? So when they say metadata, homie, y'all gonna keep hearing this one. Metadata for that footage that y'all trying to get across on us. All right? We want metadata. And look, man, all y'all jobs is on the line, man. All your careers is on the line behind this one, man. It's Mississippi burning, baby. All y'all careers is on the line behind this one, baby. Huh? Because if it come to fun, yo, look, Ben Crump on the case, man. He got his specialists on it, man. And once they pull it up and realize what's on it, guess what, man? Guess what? Game over, baby. Because you can't deny her bought on that tape. You can't deny her. Is he still alive? You can't deny what we heard. I heard, it sounded like a motherfucker got threw in the water, man. I'm telling you. You got to hear this stuff, man. Now they want to say that we hypnotized. Because she put the words to the screen. Now you're going to see what you hear. You're going to hear what you see. Yeah, man, shut the fuck. I ain't never heard. I'm looking at speed limit. And I ain't hearing speed limit come out of nothing else in this motherfucker. Just because I see it, that don't make me hear it, motherfucker. Just because I see it says speed limit 10. I don't hear it. I don't hear it.
Does this CETO call ever, not once, where you find any sort of mention of Nolan being on the boat, of something happening to Nolan? I cannot state clearly enough, Nolan was not on the boat when it departed around 4:30. Look, the video that you're showing now, does anyone look like, and look, there's the boy that's on the CETO call right there. Does anyone look like there's a body on the boat or something had just happened? Look, Nancy, you were a prosecutor for a long
time. That just popped up, homie.
Time.
Look like that.
None of these boys have a story that is untrue. Don't you think that after all this time, somebody would have snitched? That somebody wouldn't be able to keep their story straight? No. Look, these boys are telling the truth.
Typically, you're absolutely right. That's why I usually don't believe in conspiracies, because nobody can keep their yap shut. Somebody blabs.
And Nancy, now I'll say something about the CETO call. I have heard a lot of versions of the CETO call. And most of them are either completely fake or AI or doctored. And unfortunately, for folks that are doing that...
Yo, this is what they do, man. You know, they muddy the water. Right? Throw a bunch of other fakes out there, right? Because ain't nobody else to do it after the one lady did it, but all of a sudden everybody want to have their own version, right? That's to muddy the water, right? So that you will have no faith in the footage. But listen, all we got to do is follow the original footage, man. The first lady put out the first tape, we sticking with that one. That's the version that counts. All that other shit y'all did, we ain't trying to hear none of that. You know what I'm saying? Unless y'all show us how y'all got to the point y'all got to, the same way she did, we don't want to hear that shit, man. Unless the other tapes that you, your AI and this, unless you show us how they did that AI on that tape, right? To come to the conclusion of what they came to. We don't want to hear it. The lady showed us how she came to that conclusion, bruh. So none of this shit you talking right now is making any sense to us.
That may become the subject of one or more lawsuits. It appears that there are hundreds of versions of the CETO call all over.
No, there isn't. We only want one copy, bro. That's it. The first one, the original one. You could go follow all the rest of them shits if you want. But we going with the one version that came out first. That's it. That's the only one we concerned with. All right, big. All right, homie. All right, cool.
The internet, everywhere online. So now nobody can keep track of it. But I can tell you that. I can tell you, look at those photos. Nolan Wells.
We definitely can keep track of it, homeboy, because it's only one version we following, the original. Everybody else that came after her with the copies, we don't pay those no mind. You understand what I'm saying? Call Cox. That sounds little homeboys, man. I would change that if I was you. Call Cox. Nah, nigga, we ain't call it no Cox.
Is not on that boat.
The photos to me are very convincing. Let's see the photo they're talking about again.
Yes, I'm glad we agree about that.
Do I know what time that was or what day that was? Is there a timestamp? Look, I'm not saying either of you are lying. I'm saying this is how I would test evidence in court. Time that was or what day that was? Is there a timestamp? Look, I'm not saying either of you are lying. I'm saying this is how I would test evidence in court.
Boat footage, man,
I mean, I take everything with a box of salt.
Hold on.
When was that taken? Where was it taken? What time was it taken? I'm curious. Is it time stamped?
Nancy, you've been trying this case for over 30 days. The facts are the facts are the facts.
Nah,
these boys had nothing to do with the death of Nolan Wells.
Yeah, right.
Okay, when was the timestamp on that video?
We don't simply saying this, and it's okay. You're asking legitimate investigative questions, and we don't fault you for that. But here's what we're saying: it's been over 30 days. There has never been one shred, one iota, one piece, nothing, Morgan or Jax, to any crime. Because they did not commit a crime. They had nothing whatsoever to do. Right.
And again, what's timestamp on that video?
But that's not, no. There's never been one piece of...
Fuck what you talking about, homeboy. We putting a burden on you. First of all, if it ain't got the timestamp, that means the footage was doctored, buddy. Huh? If you ain't got the timestamp, where's the metadata, man? Y'all clearly think that we fools, man. Huh? Dog, you're not gonna sit here and tell us that you're not gonna sit here and tell us that that boat is sinking, bruh. That boat does not look like it's sinking. And those people do not look like the way he sound on that tape. Right? Not at all. Now this right here, what the fuck is this? It popped up.
He said, here's the boat that day, and he's not on it. That may very well be true. That may be absolutely true. And I'm saying, when was the video taken?
Well, no, I'm telling you.
Around 4:30, July 4th.
Yeah, and I'm telling you another thing, Nancy. We have multiple witnesses, and we're going to protect their names on the air here. We're not going to air out a private list of witnesses. We are. We're going to protect them. So I want to emphasize that as well. The witnesses that we're talking about, we're not going to do that to them. We're not going to name them here.
You're not gonna do what? Yo, right now, he trying to finagle rock y'all. Talking about, we're not gonna blow them up here. We're not gonna, man, shut the fuck up. Cause your witnesses, you have nothing to put out there. We don't believe them. We don't believe your witnesses, bruh. There's nothing your witness can say without proof, man. You understand what I'm saying? They have to have proof, bro. We not just taking their word for that. We just not going to... You think the whole United States is going to take their word for that? You more goofy than you look.
You're on the air. We're not doing that.
I'm not asking you to.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you are.
I'm asking you again when the timestamp is on that video, but if you don't know, I'm not saying that that's wrong or right.
Well,
I'm saying I want to know to corroborate that video.
I understand that, but that's not a relevant question for your present guest.
It's relevant for the nation to know where's the timestamp on the video. Sometimes video don't come with timestamp. So where's the metadata? Right? Where's the metadata, boy? You know, when you go to the footage, you scroll up and it shows you what time, date, place, everything. That's what we need, man. And that's the only reason why, that's the only way you can corroborate this footage. Because like we just said, this does not look like a sinking boat. And this does not look like, if he got a tow, why is he telling the people we going down, we going down? If he got a tow at this time, why is he telling the lady on the thing we going down, bro? It's not adding up, Meatball.
Since we didn't make the video. But I can tell you this.
Okay, well, you showed me the video, and that's why I'm asking. Okay, let me ask you something else.
Yeah, we didn't show you.
You state that your clients
Go ahead.
know of witnesses, or you know of witnesses that placed Nolan at Horn Island alive at 6 p.m.
Yes. Yes. 100%.
Now, all of this is
and then they so definite about some nonsense, because ain't nobody could put him there after 6 o'clock after his buddy, his best friend, said he hadn't seen him nowhere near that island after 3:40. You understand? His best friend said he didn't see Nolan no more after 3:40. You get it?
all of the, has the boat been searched? Where is Nolan's phone? Where are your client's phone? All that is superseded by the fact that there may be witnesses placing him alive on the island at 6 p.m. And everything else disappears for me if that is true, because I know your clients were gone at 4:30-ish.
Yes.
Have these witnesses been questioned by law enforcement? Do you know?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
You're sure?
Yes. Yes. And I'll tell you another thing. One other thing. There's a corollary. Nancy, there's a corollary. So there are witnesses who can place Nolan Wells on the island at 6 p.m. There are also witnesses who can confirm that Warren, Morgan, and Jax left the island around 4:30. So both sides are covered. We've got it covered.
Well, for me, it's not that simple, because I still don't know what happened to Nolan Wells. However,
neither do we.
I believe that the GPS, which really cannot be controverted, shows when the Triton left, witness or no witness. I've got that. Now, who's on the boat? I believe that video is going to tell me who's on the boat. But all that, the overarching issue is, was he alive at 6 p.m.? This is where I'm going.
Right, and Nancy,
I don't
can I say
care
one
who
thing?
was with him last. I don't care if it exonerates or convicts anybody. I just want to know the truth.
And it's good to ask,
Sir?
and I want to say this, it's good to ask tough questions. These are all valid questions, but what we're trying to do for you is simplify it. 4:30 and 6 p.m. End of story.
I want to believe you. Ed. But just because somebody says so, don't make it so. And I'm trying to prove it. That your clients were gone, and that Nolan, more importantly, in my mind, was still alive. If that's true, your clients are in the clear. As far as I'm concerned.
They are in the clear.
And the CETO call and everything else falls away if I can place him alive at 6 p.m. And the people that want to hang your clients, I can't help their unrequited anger.
Yes.
I don't care. Because somebody, in my mind, was the last person to see Nolan Wells alive, whether it's your clients or somebody else, and I want to find that person that saw him. You say 6 o'clock? Who are they? Make yourselves known. Put us all out of our misery. Help me find out what happened to Nolan.
Yes.
Nancy,
I can't understand. I'm just trying to find out. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
why in the world would these witnesses make themselves public after you've seen more than 30 days of death threats?
For a couple of dollars, meatball. For a couple of dollars. What you think, man? You know that. Don't ask us no stupid ass questions, man.
In-person threats, credible threats, people making threats and getting arrested, all geared towards these boys and others. Why would they become public? Why would they
here's
come
one
out
answer.
publicly?
One answer is they're telling the truth, and they want to put it out there. Another possibility
the truth to
is
investigators.
everybody already knew who they were, so they went out on Tatum to exonerate themselves. I mean, that could go either way. But I see what you're saying. I get it.
And Nancy,
I still don't know.
have you ever
Yes.
seen any other people accused of the crimes that online internet trolls have accused these boys of go and do podcasts, do interviews, have their attorneys go and advocate for them like this on a national platform like this? If we weren't 100% sure and they weren't 100% sure that nothing they did was in connection to Nolan Wells' death. They left the island at 4:30. He was spotted on the island after that at 6, alive and well. That's it. End of story. Do you think these are actions of 3 boys who, 1, keep their story straight, 2, don't snitch on each other, and 3, have made and had to have made to defend?
I can't take it no more, man. The lies is just too prevalent, man. Like, come on, buddy. You gonna ask us if they would go on there? Of course, man. They trying to clear their name, man. But and at the same time, going out there, they telling the truth. They slipping up. Their stories ain't adding up, buddy. Like, no, it's not. And you're not gonna lead us to believe that it is.
In themselves multiple media appearances and have their attorneys do the same? Are those the actions of someone who is guilty?
Yep.
No.
O.J. Simpson. Stupid. O.J. clearly did it, right? Did I say he clearly did it? He went to trial.
Typically, no, I agree with you, but there are cases where killers go out in the front of it and make all sorts of pleas. Please bring my wife home. Please bring my little babies home. Yes, I have seen that. I know that's not what you want to hear, but yes, I have seen it.
Right, and Nancy, let me give you a really important
And I've seen it too.
point here. And by the way, I appreciate some of the things you're saying. And let me just say this. This might be the most important thing. Look, we have a lot of humility. Warren, Morgan, and Jax have a lot of humility. One of the things that we knew when we were going to come on with you is we know you're going to ask us tough questions. We know you're going to ask us tough questions. And we're happy to answer them as best we can. But one thing we've been very consistent about, there are so many things we don't know, right? We won't be able to answer all of your tough questions. And the reason we can't is because we just don't know the answer to a lot of them. But we do know what we know. We know they were off that island at 4:30. We know Nolan was on the island at 6.
No, he wasn't. And you can't convince us that he was, especially now with 2 people that came months later. They could have came the day after that. Yeah, we saw Nolan. He ain't flying.
We just want to emphasize our humility in that regard because we just don't know and we would love to know. We want to know how this tragedy happened as much as anyone, more than anyone.
I want
So
both of you to
ask your clients to tell the truth. They're either witnesses or suspects.
gentlemen to understand something. If I thought I had convicted the wrong person, I couldn't live with myself. I personally investigated every case I ever tried and put before a jury. I do not want the wrong person, an innocent person, to suffer claims and allegations, much less go to jail. But I do want the right person. if there is a right person.
If there is.
Which leads me to, I want to believe you and I want to believe your clients. But for me, everything is what can I prove? What can I prove? They say so, so what? Prove it to me. Let me ask you this. Do you know where Nolan's phone is? Anybody? Can anybody tell me where Nolan's phone is?
Good question.
Right now, as we sit here today.
Has it ever been turned over to authorities?
No, it has not.
You're sure?
Yeah, I believe that.
See how they know? They know when Nolan Wells' mother's doing something, right? They point that out, but they don't have no clues as to nothing their clients are doing, except for what they telling them, right? But they want us to believe what they saying. Just like Nancy Grace just said, you got to prove to us that Nolan didn't leave that island with y'all, and the facts that state right now, clearly, when they left that island, so did Nolan, because nobody else seen him, but out of these thousands of people, nobody seen him but these two people that were older, right? Okay.
Ben Crump, using local counsel, sent a letter out just last night, gave it to Don Lemon on his show, and Don Lemon on his show confirmed that they have not given the phone to investigators.
Well, that's on investigators because they need to get the phone and they need to look at it.
How are they going to get it if they don't give it to them?
My man, yo, what kind of rinky-dink police station is this, man? Because clearly, if the phone is evidence, the police can just go get it. What's up with what you mean? What the fuck is you talking about? If the shoe was on the other foot, everybody's phone be gone. You motherfucker, man, get...
Warrant? Subpoena Dukas taken? Grand jury subpoena Dukas taken?
Sure, but it hasn't been to the grand jury
phone?
yet. Hasn't been to the grand jury yet.
Are you telling me you don't think a grand jury is convening on this?
I think they are. I don't think they have looked at
Well, you said, how do you get the phone? You obviously get the phone. Police go say, hey, can we look at the phone? And they go, sure, here it is. That's one way.
Well,
or you're investigating potential crime. You get a warrant.
Exactly. What you mean, what if they don't give it to them? You don't know the procedures of getting evidence, my man? Let's take the P. Diddy trial, for instance. When they wanted the evidence, what they did? They swarmed the house and went and got it. Fuck is he talking about? They really think y'all, the Americans are people, they really think y'all people are stupid, man. These are facts. I'm gonna give it 100. They think these is idiots, man.
You go, hey, give me the phone. Here's the warrant. That's two ways. Or you get a grand jury. Or a judge's order. There's all sorts of ways to get that phone.
Well, Nancy,
you just ask and they hand it over.
Yeah, Nancy, why has the... Yeah, Nancy, why? Yeah, why? Why is that phone hasn't been turned over? Why? Why?
I guess
why would the DA's office need to get a warrant?
But I think it should be, and I think it should be asked for. Look, I am not stirring the Nolan Wells phone pot with you. I got bigger fish to fight with you two gentlemen. I'm just curious. I mean, wouldn't that put a lot to bed if we could look at the phone and look at the GPS tracker on it, look at the route? I mean, look, yeah, I know where my twins are right now because they got Live 360. Yay.
Nancy,
why can't we look at that? I mean,
Nancy, we want more evidence. Let's get it all. That's the thing. That's the beauty of it. When you're telling the truth and you're representing three innocent young men, the beauty of it is you want more evidence.
We gave our phones up. We let them do a phone dump of our phones.
Which I find very, very interesting. Because a phone dump, everybody shows where the phone's been, what time it was there. It's not hard to do. It pings off phone cell towers, and you can tell as it progresses along. Not hard. Easy. And I find that probative because it will tell me when the boys went to Horn Island, the young men, and when they returned. It's better than an eyewitness to me. Tyler, what else do you have to add?
Nancy, we have told you, we've told everyone we could, we've shouted it from the rooftops. The same story over and over again. There's no other way to say it. It's like banging our heads against the wall because nobody, at least in the online atmosphere, will listen to it. We've said the same thing over and over and over again.
And it don't make no sense what you're saying, man, is why we don't believe you. It don't make no sense. It ain't adding up. No matter how many times you try to convince us that it does, it just doesn't make any sense. The story that they telling us, that they left their friend on an island with some girl that y'all claim, you just claimed just now that he ain't even know. It don't make no sense, Papa.
We can't say it any other different way. That's the truth. The truth is what it is.
Wow. That's crazy. All right, y'all. It's your boy, the Brando Knows. We gonna get up out of here. Y'all got the facts. Y'all got the info. Take it, discern it, do what you will with it. But let's get to the bottom of the Nolan Wells case. Because somebody needs to be held accountable. And y'all already know, I'm just glad it's not Monday.
Monday is the worst, first day of the week. Always seem to feel I never get enough sleep. Tuesday's the one day, feels like a Sunday, and if it wasn't for Monday, I wouldn't even notice. Wednesday's the hump day, get you out the slump day. Thursday's the day before that bread, so you come day. Friday's the next direct deposit. Now it's the weekend, and you didn't realize.